Okay, so I'm just making tiny little holes in here. And I'm making the hole small so that when I let the air back in, it will just crush the chips bag. It will look like a vacuum bag chip bag. And you'll be able to see how many chips are really in your chip bag. Okay, so now what I need to do is control the airflow so that I don't pop the bags. I want them to slowly release the air through those little pinholes. Okay, here we go. Give it some time to equilibrate. Okay, we now have our potato chips under full vacuum. So you ready for something amazing? So it looks like these are full, right? They're actually even kind of puffy right now. But really, they're just filled with empty space. And you can't really tell that until you let air in there, and then the air will show you that it's empty space by crushing the bag. So here's what potato chip bags really should look like based on how much is in there. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, they just got vacuum bagged. Look at this. This one's solid. That's so cool. Look at these. So essentially what I did is I vacuum bagged these. So now that empty space that was in there is now getting crushed by the atmosphere. So when you buy a chips bag, this is really the amount of chips that you're buying. It's really cool. So now when I open it back up and let the air back in, the whole bag will puff up. Except the atmosphere crushed all my chips. Thanks, atmosphere. Okay, this is gonna happen fast. So if an astronaut decided to bring a chip bag to space, here's what would happen. Which one's gonna go first? Oh, here we go. So what's funny is those bags exploded, and if you've ever exploded a chip bag, it can be really loud in the air. But since it was in the vacuum, it was just this tiny little pop. Okay, here we go. Look at all my Dorito bags, perfectly open for me. Okay, so here's an interesting thing to consider. So I had one person comment in the comments section. They wanted to know why this phenomenon was happening. So they had a chips bag, they took it up on an airplane, and in an airplane cabin, they do keep it pressurized, but it's a lot lower than atmospheric pressure. It's enough pressure that we're still fine, but it is lower than atmospheric pressure, so it's a slight vacuum in there. So what he did is he took a potato chips bag up on an airplane, had a flight, I don't know how long it was, probably a decent amount of time. And then when he landed, his potato chips bag was crushed. I don't know if it was crushed as much as we saw there, but it was crushed down and it wasn't opened yet. So he wanted to know why did it get crushed if he hadn't even opened it. So what can happen is that when it starts to get at lower pressure, the bag will puff up and it'll start to split open the top here until just a little tiny air gap gets through. It can be just a pinhole type, just similar to a pinhole that I just put in these. And basically what that means is it's letting the air out and it's equilibrating with the slight vacuum that's in the fuselage of the plane. And then when you go back down and you land the plane, you're back at atmospheric pressure. The atmospheric pressure crushes the bag. So even if you have an unopened bag of chips, it can still get crushed by the atmosphere. That's because some of the air can escape out of the bag. All my chips are crushed now. And thanks again, and I'll see you next time.